Good evening. My name is Rodney Mills, and I'll be talking about Nike as a company and examining the underperformance concerning their social responsibility. Uh, so, starting with a brief introduction to Nike. Um, Recognized on Fortune's Most Admired Companies 2024 list, Nike has been a global leader in athletic apparel and merchandise for decades. Nike is known for its collaboration with top athletes like LeBron James, Serena Williams, Cristiano Ronaldo, just to name a few. Over the years, Nike has increased its brand equity at an unparalleled rate. And although they became one of the most influential and recognized sports apparel brands in the world, Nike hasn't always been praised for their efforts as an organization. Nike has taken criticism over the years for their role in contributing to unethical labor practices. Um, Nike's unethical labor practices mainly center around their factories in underdeveloped countries. So, Nike's overseas factories have been receiving allegations of sweatshop-like conditions, underpayment, and suppression of workers' rights. In 2020, reports surfaced of forced labor connected to suppliers in China linked to a specific population of Chinese. So while Nike is admired for its innovative and its brand leadership, it still faces pressure to improve transparency, fairness, and ethical behavior, particularly amongst their social responsibility space. So some of the ramifications for underperforming in this area of business. One thing that you can kind of lead to is brand trust decline, and also there have been instances of consumers boycotting Nike on several instances. In 2001, CBS aired a documentary exposing the substandard labor conditions within Nike's contracted factories in Vietnam. This drew a lot of public attention to the shortcomings within this company's supply chain. So put a magnifying glass on Nike and their operational standpoint, and how they were actually operating within these specific factories. Failure to improve this social responsibility effort could result in a number of things, right? So should Nike choose to ignore public outcry and continue subjecting workers to unethical labor conditions, it risks substantial revenue loss, right? So mentioned earlier, could result in consumer boycotting, which obviously is a direct correlation to revenue loss, right? So research shows that corporate social responsibility can significantly damage brand equity and lead to decreased sales, especially amongst socially conscious consumers, especially amongst those socially conscious consumers that make intentional efforts to support people that support, humanitarian efforts that they may support as well. Over the last 5 years, Nike stock has declined for about $100 from its peak in 2021. So that's kind of a good indicator of social unrest with their consumers. So under their current organizational structure, Nike operates under a matrix organizational structure. The structure blends product divisions, marketing operations, and regional markets. While the structure is beneficial to adding flexibility and specialization, it presents many challenges. Coordinating issues and a lack of accountability both derive from this type of organizational structure. Sustainability goals and practices tend to get lost in the complexity of this structure. With so many different departments and divisions, no single entity has the visibility and authority to enforce sustainability goals across Nike's operations. So just with the vast majority of departments, divisions, headquarters, and things that they have around the country, that can kind of lead to a lack of communication amongst these different entities, right? So no clear, concise communication from the same brand, just between different factories, different different regional markets and things like that that may not be communicating the same message. Um, so what I would propose in terms of a more sound organization structure would be one that would come up with one centralized, substantial governance team, essentially. One that, you still have your checks and balances, you still have different departments and divisions that are able to hold power and make decisions, but I do think one centralized sustainability governance team would help just streamline a lot of the process of delivering information to different factories and to the different markets, to different Nike markets regionally. This team would be responsible for setting company-wide sustainability targets and ensuring consistent performance tracking across all business units. It would also embed sustainability into key areas like product design, supply chain operations, and regional strategies. This approach will make Nike's sustainability efforts more scalable, aligned, and effective across its global footprint. So in terms of Nike's culture of consciousness, they portray and deliver a message of social acknowledgement, social respectability, but just due to looking at some of their issues with their factories and the poor working conditions and hostile working conditions, it just didn't align with their vision that that they portray. Nike shows partial alignment with conscious capitalism, while the brand emphasizes purpose-driven messaging. It lacks full stakeholder orientation. Internal practices often fall short of the values portrayed in its branding. Strengthening this alignment can enhance both credibility and long-term impact, right? So long story short, practicing what you preach, so that the consumers can actually see these efforts being displayed. That's definitely paramount to contribute to enhanced credibility and long-term impact. Introducing Carter's 8-step change model, right? So introducing that at Nike, right? It starts with acknowledging the pressures and concerns of growing public criticism. To make real progress, Nike could bring together a cross-functional sustainability team to lead the effort, right? So kind of what I just mentioned there, a team that is able to branch out to these different markets and these different facilities and these different factories to offer a sense of consistency so everybody's on the same page, right? So a clear and inspiring vision like sustainability as innovation can help get everyone on the same page. Being open in how they communicate and celebrating ethical actions along the way can build trust and keep things moving forward. All right, so in actual integration of this model within Nike's framework as a business, right? So to drive improvement at Nike's, Carter's 8-step challenge or change mode offers a strategic framework. First, create urgency by highlighting risks like labor violations and emissions, then form a cross-functional sustainability leadership board. So kind of the same what I just talked about, implementing one centralized team or group or a department that is, solely focused and responsible for being that central hub of information, right? So finally, institutionalize change by embedding sustainability into leadership training, brand messaging, and strategic goals to ensure lasting impact and accountability. All right, so some challenges associated with that, right? So cost concerns, global inconsistencies, right? Leaders may be hesitant due to the financial investment and the complexity of aligning efforts across different regions. So just making sure that like I mentioned, you can have those consistent efforts amongst these different regions and these different markets that these different stores are in. It could pose a big challenge to Nike to come up with a program or a system to facilitate this. And one, just a couple key lessons learned. Um, I think when coming up with an organizational structure, you have to be very strategic, and there has to be a rhyme or reason for why you come up with the organization structure you did. It has to benefit the size of your organization. I just think that Nike's organizational structure does not benefit their size. It kind of it kind of leaves loops